For some people, sport in France is tennis on clay or a cycle race taking in mountain peaks before charging down the Champs-Élysées. But here in Le Mans, it's a different story. For over a century, this peaceful town has transformed nearly every summer into the beating heart of motorsport. It begins with the roaring of engines, the cheering of fans, and the dream of victory. Through day and night, rain or heat, driver and machine are pushed to their absolute limits.
Oh my goodness me, that's the flying Mercedes.
This can be the most important 24 hours of your life.
You think about it for 364 days and you come here with one job to do, to try and win this brutal race.
And for the winners, the memories will last forever.
9 wins now for Mr. Le Mans. Porsche have won it yet again.
Well done, everybody.
The centennial celebration of the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the 100th anniversary, is won by Ferrari.
This is the ultimate test of speed, endurance, and innovation. This is the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Bienvenue en France sur le circuit de la Sarthe. Welcome to one of the biggest races in the world. Welcome to the 24 Hours of Le Mans and the 4th round of the FIA World Endurance Championship. 186 drivers ready to battle on track. 186 drivers ready to make history, to write the next chapter in the story of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. We've had 100 years of this race. Now the next century is about to start, and I'm very lucky indeed to be on this grid with the most successful driver of them all. You won it 9 times here, Tom Kristensen, Monsieur Le Mans himself. Bonjour, Tom.
Bonjour. It's race day, the longest race day.
Why is it so special to be here? And what is it to win here in the 24 Hours of Le Mans?
I think the intro, I get goosebumps when I listen at some of my old memories, but just to be here, the build-up, the history heritage. Now the grid is clear again, but we have been completely packed with people just a few minutes ago. The expectations, the adrenaline, the focus, there's so much to get. And this is a full concentrated people, and they have to eliminate risks today and make it good through the night. The night has it all. 24
hours of racing, a great team effort. Alex Brangel has joined the Eurosport team this season, a 2-time Le Mans podium sitter. Thank you for being with us. Alex, describe us the magic of Le Mans. Hundreds and thousands of fans gathering here on this peaceful town for the whole week.
Well, thank you for having me. This is a festival of endurance racing that begins over a week ago and now comes to its climax on the Saturday of Le Mans. The tension down here is palpable as the crowd have left the grid now. What a privilege it is to stand on this hallowed tarmac next to such legends and watch a new century of endurance racing kicked off in just a few moments' time.
One race, 3 different categories, and the top class, the hypercar field, is stronger than ever with 23 entries from 9 different manufacturers. Here is all. We've all been waiting for this, Tom.
I envy the progress this race has made, obviously worldwide, with good help also for the American teams coming in. It's the quality and quantity has never been better. It's absolutely a golden era of this kind of sport. Sports car racing, the ultimate test of drivers and machine, and everyone is getting ready. But again, I said eliminate mistakes, and there's a lot of challenging which we'll be talking about throughout. But
no mistakes and a little bit of luck. That's how you became a winner here in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. We also need the best teammates during the next 24 hours here with Eurosport. Guénaël Longy, Jethro Bovingdon and Laura Winter will be our pit reporters. Jethro, there's so many people on the grid right now. It's so easy to run into motorsport legends, right?
Thanks, Leslie. Yeah, I'm joined by Mark Webber, former Formula One driver, World Endurance Drivers' Champion in 2015. We're right at the sharp end. Mark, what are the drivers going through right now?
Well, a lot of work's gone into this point. They're hoping the car's obviously prepared beautifully. They will be prepared, hopefully as best they can be, making sure the hydration's ready. Loose as a goose, ready to go, because you're going to get tightened up as during the race goes on, obviously in terms of long stints, and also just mentally obviously gets quite fatigued. So hopefully they're all relaxing, getting ready, which I know they are. They're in a great place right now, so ready to go.
Okay, you've done this race several times. You've seen the track day, night, from the air as well when you flipped in 99. What was always the biggest challenge you felt for you as a driver?
I think the biggest challenge, it's of course finding the right tempo with the car, making sure that the car's being looked after. You know, you've got to go pretty hard now. Obviously the race is now pretty much flat out anyway. You know, understanding what the tyres are doing during the race, of course, because the track changes a lot, track conditions change, the requirements of the car change, so that's important. And all the drivers, the communication is key. You know, you've got to be really, really strong to make sure that you're all on the same page, so that the drivers are really at one with the car for 24 hours.
Okay, we're here up at pole position. You think Porsche have got a really good shot with this one?
Absolutely. I think we've got a lot of strong cars in the field. Porsche are prepared beautifully. So the drivers are obviously world class. A lot of winners in our cars as well. So on that side, we're in great shape. But the field's very strong. A lot of depth. I think this year, any small mistakes, the penalty's going to be quite high, of course, in terms of other people taking the opportunities there. And I think that this year, more than any others, it's going to be quite important. The drivers will play a big role. Strategy, tyre decisions, and also from the cockpit, because you can really easily lose this race with the mixed conditions we're probably going to have during the race.
As usual, it could be a lottery. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it, Mark. Obviously, Le Mans is one huge event, but there are several races taking place at the same time, effectively. So let's take a look at the different classes racing here and the story of the World Endurance Championship so far.
Here's everything you need to know about Le Mans and the championship this year. Round 4 of the World Endurance Championship is here at Le Mans with 186 drivers, 62 cars, 23 of them hypercars. LMP2s are back as a guest category for Le Mans only, and the LMGT3s have 23 entries as well. The season so far. The World Endurance Championship began on March the 2nd with a highly anticipated 1,812-kilometre race in Qatar. The season didn't start well for the Centenary Le Mans winning 51 Ferrari, and the first win of 2024 went to Porsche. A great race for the German manufacturer, who got 3 on the podium. Round 2 was another debut circuit, Imola, and a big crash at Tamburello damaged the Peugeot and the new Alpine hypercar. And it was Ferrari who dominated the early pace. Changing weather conditions and timing of pit stops became key for the win. Ferrari's lack of reactivity cost them a podium and put Toyota back on the top step with victory for the number 7. Round 3 of the championship took place in front of a capacity crowd at the 6 Hours of Spa. Earl Bamber causing this massive crash and a red flag. When the race resumed, the private Porsche of Hertz Team Jota took the victory.
A first year of ups and downs for Porsche is back with a vengeance in 2024, with the number 6 car leading the championship after consistent results in Qatar, Imola and Spa. So far, the German manufacturer has had 7 podium finishes, including 2 victories. Ferrari and Toyota very close behind. The Italian manufacturer hasn't won since the Le Mans Centenary last year, and Toyota number 7 won an unexpected one in Imola. However, we all know Le Mans is very specific. A win here and you become a legend. It also means you win double points in the championship. With a total of 6 963s, Porsche certainly has the advantage in the numbers here at the start. And we're here next to one of the 2 golden Porsche from Hertz Team Jota, the number 7. Behind the wheel, Jensen Button is here. Hello, Jensen. Thank you for being with us. It will be your 3rd Le Mans start here today. What keeps you coming back?
Well, this is the first time I've actually been in a car that could win the race, so that's why. Hopefully race in the future in a competitive car. And then last year was the NASCAR Garage 56 car, which was so much fun. But this is the first year that's proper, you know, where I'm in a car that's competitive. And big thanks to Hertz Team Jota for let me come along for this one. And yeah, looking forward to the action.
It's been a busy weekend so far in the garage with the chassis replacement for the other car. Has that affected the team, their preparation for the race, or are you pretty well nucleated across the sides of the garage?
Yeah, I think it always hurts when you don't get as much sleep for the guys, but I am so impressed with this team and how they soldiered on and got it done with, I think, about an hour's sleep in 48 hours. So hopefully last night they got a bit of sleep, but on the 12, so proud of those guys and the whole team really for coming together in such a difficult time to build these cars in 36 hours. It's impressive. Normally it's a couple of weeks.
Jensen, why I love so much you have given the sport in general, of course Formula One, and coming here I know absolutely how you are going to enjoy that. To give you even more hope, my first race here was with a private Porsche team, and we won the race outright, so I hope I'm going to see the same from you tomorrow.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, I agree with you, Tom. I'm so excited for this one. You know, I think winning Le Mans, as you know, more than all of us, it's such a special feeling, I think, for not just for yourself, but for the whole team. It's so much emotion, right? You've been through so much together. But I think especially this year, 23 hypercars on the grid, it's so competitive. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All the best.
Jensen Button. Enjoy the next 24 hours. Back to you, Jethro. You're with another legend, another true legend of his sport, NFL star, Tom Brady.
Yeah, I am joined by Tom Brady, who's here with Team Jota. Tom, you came last year. We didn't catch up with you then, but what were your first impressions of Le Mans and what drew you back to come again for 24?
Well, incredible experience. I think it's normally it's once in a lifetime, but the fact that we're involved with this car, it hurts Jota team and what they've done in the last 30 hours. This car has got an incredible story to tell, so I love being here to support the team and to be here with the drivers and watch those guys really kind of try to pull something off. That would be a really great underdog story.
Yeah, it's incredible. You're used to making really high-pressure decisions, split second, but what about these guys as athletes? How do you rate the drivers and what they're doing here for 24 hours?
I'm really amazed by all obviously their skill set, but I think what's between their ears is the most important thing. And the decisions they make, there's so much information to process, but these guys are unbelievable. They've had a great season thus far. I'm really excited to see how they come out of this race.
Okay, and what are your plans for the race? You're going to stay all night, do it really hardcore style?
Not as hardcore, but I have my 3 kids with me, so that would be super hardcore. Maybe last year I stayed, so this year I was actually going back, but we'll be back tomorrow.
Okay, well, thank you for talking to us. Appreciate it.
Great to see you.
NFL legend and motorsport fan Tom Brady, who'll be busy during the night, I guess, with his 3 kids. The driver lineup has never been so varied. We have seen champions from Formula 1 to NE, GT specialists, and of course, a MotoGP icon. Valentino Rossi is here. Tom, you caught up with him. Let's find out what a 9-time Le Mans winner and a 9-time MotoGP world champion had to say to each other.
Valentino Rossi, it's very good to have you in the World Endurance Championship. If I reflect, looking back, when I met you first time, and the year was 2001, was that at that time you already put a seed into your head that one day you will switch from 2 wheels to 4 wheels?
Yes, was always in my mind, because I start my career with the go-kart. So I start as a car driver.
You did? I didn't know that.
Yes,
yeah.
I started with the go-kart when I was very young, and I started to race with the go-kart when I was 5 and 6. So my way was more the cars, because Graziano, my father, was very worried about motorcycle, because Graziano raced with motorcycle, and he had a lot of crashes, a lot of injury, so he was scared.
It seems nobody in racing have gone to motorbikes or MotoGP and gone well.
For me, the switch from bike to cars is more easy. Also because anyway, you drive a car in your life when also if you are not a driver, no? Is a normal life. Motorcycle, if you are not a rider, maybe you never drive. And for me, at the top with motorcycle, you need to start when you are very, very young.
You have the 24 Hours of Le Mans. You made your debut there last year, winning the road to Le Mans in a very similar car. I mean, obviously a BMW M4. You must have big hopes, dreams of maybe ultimately after 24 hours to be at the top of the podium.
The 24 Hour of Le Mans was my target from the beginning because it's the most famous race in the world. And the dream is try to win or try to arrive on the podium. And I think that
definitely don't make sure that you don't take La Chapelle after the Dunlop corner.
Yes.
Because the Bugatti circuit in Le Mans,
we arrive from the other side.
You won a few times there as well. So
no, but it's great. I'm very excited to race there this year.
The time has come for Valentino Rossi. He had a taste of this track here last year with the Road to Le Mans, but he's achieved his goal this year. Tom, an incredible milestone for his incredible career.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, what a lovely guy he is. He's taking it very seriously. He's coming here with the crack WRT BMW team, and in that sense, everything can go well. He has good teammates, and from here we all like to see him unfold his talent, also with four wheels.
Yeah, it's used for us. It's also used for the sport. Alex, what has been the impact on having him this season in way?
Yeah, it's been a massive impact for all of us. I remember walking into the paddock at Spa on the morning where there was absolutely no running going on before free practice even started, and there were fans queuing just to get a glimpse of Valentino Rossi. It was the same this weekend. He's doing a brilliant job, by the way, behind the wheel of that BMW, and it's great to have him here adding so much to the world of endurance racing.
Valentino Rossi, a new challenge on four wheels. He'll be starting 12th in the GT3 category with the number 46 car, of course, the M4. 25 years ago, BMW won one of the most memorable Le Mans races of all time, and now they're back here with Team WRT in the top class. What can we expect from them? They qualified 6th and 16th.
As I said, you can expect a lot. The team is great. They are well prepared. They got very energized by the pole position of Dries Van Tor leading into the Super Pole. Of course, they have dropped a bit back afterwards, but there's no doubt they can do very well. I was fortunate to race with BMW 25 years ago, and my biggest defeat was leading by more than 3 laps and not finishing. They want to make sure they finish with both cars, and they are hoping of a podium. And dreaming of victory, but I think hope for a podium, that's BMW.
Yeah, number 15 qualified 6th, and it's Marco Wittmann who starts right behind one of the two Alpine, car number 35, and we see more and more Formula 1 drivers interested in endurance racing. We'll hear one of them all. Pierre Gasly is here on the grid. Thank you, Pierre, for being with us. Of course, fully committed to Formula 1, but I mean, you're here. We know that participating to the 24 Hours of Le Mans is something you would like to do in the future.
Well, it's I think every kid's dream. I've watched this race since I was that tall, and I actually lived 5 years in Le Mans. I studied here, and I've got a very close proximity with this city and with this track. So yeah, for sure, it will be a dream to win Le Mans one day. We'll see. For now, I'm fully focused on Formula 1, and it's not really in the pipeline, but definitely seeing all these guys today, but just wearing normal sneakers and jeans doesn't feel right. So yeah, hopefully one day I'll be able to be in a good car to participate in Le Mans.
Yeah, you're so used to arriving at a Grand Prix distance. Can you imagine getting to the end of a full Grand Prix distance and you're 10% of the way through the race? That's what these guys are about to do over 24 hours. The extreme length of these competitions is incredible, isn't it?
Well, I find it fascinating. I talked about it. I've got many friends racing today, actually, which makes it even cooler because I'm on the grid and I'm seeing a lot of guys I raced against. And I was saying 4 a.m. with 1 hour sleep. It's gonna be absolutely beating down, and it's gonna be it's gonna be very extreme. And I think we gotta appreciate, as a racing driver, I really appreciate how hard it is, and hopefully people on TV can realize as well, because it's tough, to focus for an hour and a half. It's a big challenge, but to focus for a full 24 hours and sharing a car. I mean, this guy is the best to explain it, but yeah, a lot of respect for these guys.
Thank you, Pierre Gasly. Enjoy the next show. Back to you, Jethro. You're with another special guest on the grid today.
I've bumped into Richard Hammond. Richard Hammond, you're not in your overalls yet. What are you doing here? Not driving?
No, one of the Porsche teams did ask, and then they changed their minds. No, I'm just here to soak up the atmosphere. I love this event. It's astonishing.
Okay, so you were telling me a little earlier that you haven't been here for a long time. Things have changed.
Yeah, I haven't been for... It's about 32 years in person. Last time I came here, hair down to here, on a motorcycle, a couple of friends on bikes in a Caterham 7. We camped, but I never pitched the tent. I slept under the lee of my motorcycle. So I've changed. The event has, but I think, we've got new classes, the hypercars this year, it's going to be awesome. But I think the atmosphere remains the same, and it's unique because we're all here to pay homage, really. It's fiesta and festival, but every team, every driver, and the cars themselves are going to go out there shortly and just endure the unimaginable. So they are our gladiators, and this feels like we're all gathering together to give them the send-off they need and deserve, and then settle down and watch them battle.
Yeah, the challenge stays the same even though things change. You're a veteran of a 24-hour race yourself, the Silverstone 24-hour. Yep. So have you got any last-minute advice to these drivers?
Do better than I did. Wing mirrors, they're handy. Definitely wing mirrors. Yeah, I didn't do particularly well. I'd love to one day, but I just wish everybody the best, and I love what they're doing, and it's an important time to be doing it, to be celebrating not just the raw power and the noise and the circus and the chaos, but the technology as well. Let's not forget, the hybrids, the work they're doing to balance out the power. This is important learning. But it's also proper old-school gladiatorial racing. 40 changes of first position last year across the 24 hours. Let's see that again, proper scrapping and racing.
Yeah, it should be a fantastic race. Thank you, enjoy, and thank you for your time.
I'm going to enjoy it. You do the same.
We're closer to the top of the grid now, in front of the two Ferraris and the defending champions, of course, James Calado, Antonio Giovinazzi, Alessandro Ferguidi. They won here, returning to the top class after 50 years absent. What a coaster of emotion. Fred Vasseur is over here. Tom, you want to have a quick chat with him?
No, he came to me. I don't know. Do you have anything?
We don't know this person.
Nothing to add. Nothing to add.
Good to see you here. And just touching on that, you just popped out. Winning in Monaco, what a great! And you said the people were crying of emotions, and they were crying of emotions in Canada after as well.
Yeah, it was wet the 2 weekends for different reasons, but Monaco was a special one for the team, for Charles, and Monaco was also, and then Canada was also special. I hope that it will be a one-off, but now we have to be focused on Le Mans.
Exactly. We had the big one. Last year you took the honors, victory for Ferrari in their comeback, and now they're back to defend the title here, and having not won any WEC races so far. So what's the take on the race?
Yeah, but it's the fight is very, very tight. You have a lot of good drivers, good cars that they are all in 1 or 1.5 seconds in Le Mans. It's almost nothing. And with this more than everybody else, and also that I've done 24 hours with the weather, and so it will be very, very tight. That means that let's be focused on ourselves, do the job, and we'll see at the end.
And enjoy a little bit as well. I'm sure you can do here.
I will be sure that I will.
Thank you, Frédéric Vasseur. Maybe we can have a quick chat with Antonio Giovinazzi or James Calado. You're the defending champions. Hello, James. Defending champions, so now defending your title. It's a complete new story compared to what happened last year in the Centenary of Le Mans.
Yeah, for me it's just another race, Okay, we've got this massive atmosphere. Okay, there's a little bit of pressure, but it's another race. We're here to do the best job we can. We're here to enjoy it. The weather's a bit iffy at the moment, so I think we're going to see an action-packed race, especially tomorrow morning. But the car's holding up well, and we'll see. You never know in this game.
No tyres warmers for you this year. Is it going to be a big issue for you into the night? Are you concerned about it? How are you going to be playing that game?
Same for everyone, isn't it? You just got to get on with it. Simple.
Simple as that.
Ferrari number 51 starts in third position, a few minutes in front of a sister car, the number 50. We're now getting closer to the top of the grid. Exceptional performances so far for Cadillac. And Jethro, you're with the local hero here, Sébastien Bourdais.
Sebastian, home race, literally, you grew up in Le Mans, fantastic performance in qualifying, just missed out on pole. How are you feeling just as we're about to start the race?
Yeah, I think the guys did an awesome job. The car is quick. Obviously, I think
we could use a little bit of top speed, but other than that, lap time wise, it's been a very fast package, and we're pretty happy with the long run space. So the big unknown is obviously the weather. It's going to be a typical west of France type of weather coming from the Atlantic, and little showers here and there, and it's going to be about survival and making no mistakes. So we'll try and do just that.
I was going to ask you as a local if you had a reliable weather forecast for us, but you're saying you have no idea either.
No, I mean, we see them coming. Obviously, the guys have good radars now, and everybody can be a good weatherman. But it's so tricky, you know. It's gauging exactly where it's going to hit, how much it's going to be. Are you going to be able to survive on slicks? Are you going to have to come in for wets? And also the big unknown, you know, if it starts to happen during the night, you know, how much did it rain when you get there? It's very difficult to gauge. So it's the same thing for everybody. Obviously, we have a very experienced crew, very experienced teammates with Scott and Ranger, and I think we have everything we need to perform, but you need a little bit of luck when conditions get tricky like this.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. Good luck. Let's hope you can get the top step.
Sébastien Bourdais was so close to take the pole here. Great performance for Cadillac, but as I told you, Porsche's season has been great so far. And Kevin Estre aboard this car, the number 6, made a sensational lap in the hyperpole. Lawrence Venturi will lead the pack in a few minutes now. They've been showing the most impressive pace, Alex, so far, and this is a date with history here today.
It could well be the 20th win for Porsche in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The car looks quick, but tricky to drive. Kevin Estre did a fantastic job throughout qualifying, manhandling it right at the end of hyperpole to take pole position. So we'll see if they're able to have the race pace throughout 24 hours. It looks like he's lined up to chat to us now.
Yeah. Let's have a word with Kevin Estre, the new hero here. What a lap about this car. I mean, you must have been really proud of yourself, but still 24 hours to go, right?
Thank you. Yeah, no, it was a great lap, very difficult. You know, not sure that I had enough fuel in it, some traffic ahead, some LMP2, and to finish this lap on the edge was quite intense, but no, very happy of what I achieved. But yeah, now it's all about a long race, so we put the pole behind us. We just want to enjoy this race, make sure to do no mistakes and execute the way we want to do it.
The car has looked tricky balance-wise throughout the weekend. You were really on the edge at several points during your qualifying lap. Is it stable enough for you to have the speed over 24 hours, or are you a little bit too on the edge, do you think?
Well, definitely not the way I drove it for the quali. But during these long runs, during the day, the practice, we had actually quite a good balance. It's just when you want to, you know, reach these last 3, 4, 5 tenths in quali, you just go like that, and then the car moves. Otherwise, you're not at the limit. So I'm confident we'll have a good car for the race.
There's no doubt. You have a great lineup also with your teammates. We talked the other day, and you could feel that your boss, Roger Penske, he was really into detail. That was my feeling as well. What would it mean to you to make the 20th victory for Porsche and for Penske? The first victory, the only one he misses in everything in motorsport, that's Le Mans 24 Hours, Kevin.
Well, we had a meeting this morning with some board members, Roger himself and everyone, and you feel that it's very important for all of them, and for Roger probably, you know, for the most, it means really the world to him, this race. He really wants to win it after all this victory in the world, what he achieved in his life. So yeah, would means a lot, but now it's time for racing. We just want to enjoy what we do and try to execute perfectly. And if we do that, I guess we'll have a chance, and it would be nice to give this victory for them.
Sure you will. Bon chance. Thank you very much.
Bonne chance, Kevin. Thank you so much aboard the number 6 car with André Lotterer and Lawrence Venturi starting in a few minutes now. 186 drivers, 62 cars on this grid. Let's have a short break, and we'll be back here as one of the most prestigious races in the world is about to start. Let's catch up with Romain Grosjean, the former Formula 1 driver, has been living the American dream for the past 3 years. He's thrilled to be back home at this extraordinary event.
287, la très jolie équipe de France pour cette GTS. Olivier Beretta aussi, mesdames et messieurs, à l'arrivée du trophée, 24 ans, le trophée des futurs vainqueurs.
As we're getting ready for the iconic 24 hours, let's find out what else is in store for our viewers this weekend, starting with round 5 of Speedway Grand Prix from Malila, Sweden. Tonight, 6:30 CT on Max and Discovery Plus. In World Superbike, you won't miss a second of the fight for this year's title between Toprak and Alvaro. With no racing in May, the championship is going to explode back into life in Misano. And of course, you know that after Le Mans, you have an amazing summer of sport in France, the Olympic Games in Paris, but before that, the Tour de France starting in 2 weeks in Florence. We haven't talked about the other contenders, Tom and Alex, of course, Cadillac, but Toyota as well. After last year's defeat and a big disappointment, do you see them performing well in this 24 hours race? Of course, they have the experience, but Ferrari and Porsche have been performed better so far.
Yeah, they have the experience and they have a team which are used to winning, and they don't like not winning here at Le Mans. So the defeat last year took them hard. We saw in qualifying that they want to come back and do it very well. Kobayashi did that costing mistake, creating a penalty. So they're a little bit on the back foot. But it's a sleek team, it's a sleek operation, and the drivers have been used to winning. So I think they will absolutely be in the mix and putting a lot of pressure from where they're coming from the leading Porsche, from the Cadillac, the surprising dark horse.
Allons enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. Contre nous de la tyrannie, l'étendard sanglant élevé, l'étendard sanglant élevé. Entendez-vous dans nos campagnes mugir ces féroces soldats qui viennent jusque dans nos bras, égorger nos fils et nos campagnes. Aux armes citoyens,
The French national anthem rings out over Circuit de la Sarre here at Le Mans as we prepare ourselves for the 92nd running. The ceremonies, as per tradition over the last couple of years, the French army now flying over the grid in delivering the starter's flag. We have Zinedine Zidane here to flag the cars away. There is the great footballer himself. Fabien Barthez has always been associated with Le Mans 24 hours as well, as plenty of others. And we have Kamui Kobayashi, the team principal now at Toyota Gazoo Racing, on the left-hand side, who is the man of honour. It is quite a show that is hardly rivalled in the world of motorsport, and really sets up anticipation and excitement all the way around this 13.6 kilometre circuit.
It is a stirring occasion, and Zinedine Zidane, winner of the World Cup in 1998, knows a big occasion, Ben, but it doesn't get much bigger than this. On this day, on race day, it feels like the center of the world for good reason, because around this famous racetrack there are hundreds of thousands lined ready to get a view, to get a glimpse of what should be one of the most competitive races that this famous old circuit has seen. And we begin a second century. We have a fantastic field to look forward to, but this is part of the day. This is part of the moment. The ceremonial procedure, the tricolor there, about to be delivered to one of France's absolute favourite sons. And I love that this is part of the moment. The drivers, their minds elsewhere, on the job. For the fans, for us, a wonderful, wonderful moment to just drink it all in and appreciate what an occasion this is.
Well over 250,000 fans around the circuit. Many will be clinging to catch fences around the circuit if they haven't got a seat in the grandstands across from start, finishing straight.
You can see everyone assembled, watching the chopper disappear, and the warm applause, the delivery of the flag, always a great moment to mark. And they will now be disappearing. There you go, taking charge of it. That will be waving us off with the rolling start that has been tradition here for so long. This is the 92nd running of the Le Mans 24 Hours, and there we are, making our way to the grid, making our way to Zinedine Zidane, who will receive the flag. Kazuki Nakajima, the Grand Marshal for this race, he will take ownership of it as well, and the famous footballer will be waving us to get underway for the 186 drivers, the 62 entries across 3 different classes that seek their greatest day. Doesn't matter if you've won it before, does not matter at all. Your most recent victory, it's always the sweetest. And when you put a whole year of effort into this, well, it is one of the great endeavours, not just in motorsport, but in all of sport. And the flag being applauded to the line where it will be waved.
So often we talk about Le Mans as being a battle between machines, teams and drivers, but don't forget this is also a battle with the circuit itself, with the environment and the time period. There are few longer motorsport events, sport events, other than cycling I suppose, that take so much out from man as well as machine. The mechanics, the engineers sitting in the garages, turning around these cars every 45 minutes. And then, of course, the drivers doing the work out on circuit.
Past all of the teams that line up, that grid about 40 minutes ago, heaving. You could not move at all down there. It created a special occasion as finally, past all of the competitors we have gone, after the French national anthem, it's in the possession of Zinedine Zidane, who will have the great honour. We've had some wonderful sports people wave this flag at the start of the race in the past, and Zidane all smiles. He's been around here, he's had a lap around here earlier today, but his main job coming your way in about 20 minutes' time.
Incredible, the reception that the fans around the circuit in the main grandstand giving to Zinedine Zidane. He really has been appreciated.
Okay, we are standing by in the commentary box for a great race. Let's send it back to the grid and Leslie.
Not just a motor race, but an overall challenge. We're back on the top of the grid with Tom Christensen and Alex Bernard in front of this number 6 car who started in pole position in a few minutes now, driving day and night, dealing with the traffic. The Circuit de la Sarthe is also a very demanding track. Let's find out what are the main challenges here with you, Tom, about the safety car, Yves and Jethro.
Okay, Tom, so the sun has gone in and I get to get a track guide with Mr. Le Mans. This is pretty cool. We're in a 911 Turbo S with some Manti bits and we're just coming through the Dunlop chicane. So Tom, give me your best knowledge. You must remember this place.
Oh, important, the Dunlop chicane. Of course, the Dunlop Bridge, iconic. Down the S's. Whoa. Off camber, getting into, into SS de la Forêt. It's banked. Over the crest here, it really bites you easy.
It's at this moment I realise Tom has only one speed at Le Mans, so our plans for a slow and steady track guide are over.
After Tête Rouge, it long, winding straight getting into sometimes and mainly the top speed, depending on the wind, but it's a longer stretch after a fast fourth or fifth gear corner, depending on the cars.
This is the first part of the Mulsanne Straight, which used to be 6 kilometres of wide open throttle, but has now been broken up by 2 chicanes. Even so, the hypercars will hit over 340 kilometres per hour or 210 miles an hour twice along here.
It's this part of the track where you really feel that the average speed, you need to have 220 kilometers an hour average speed over the 24 hours, including half an hour of pit stop.
Remember, you're not in a prototype. So now we're in Indianapolis, correct?
Different grid level. Indianapolis 1, coming into the slower part here, bank coming in, can bite you very easily, as we have seen in Super Bowl and over a lot of races. And then shortly after, hard braking into Anage. Slowest part of the track.
And then punching.
This is, I think, romantic part of the track. Winding road coming up to what we always call real hard corners. Ultra fast Porsche corners.
Porsche curves, here we go. Yeah, quick. We are doing 100 miles an hour, 4th gear.
We are taking it very easy.
We're going at 70% Tom Christian speed, which is a lot more than that for most people.
Here's karting off camber. You feel it very easily, huh? Yeah. Really want to bite you. The car is just pushing with understeer there.
Yeah, we've seen cars spinning off there in qualifying, including Kobayashi.
Curb left, buff. Curbs on the right, buff. And poof, hard braking in here.
Big sausage curb here on the right that you need to miss. Then it's another acceleration zone up to 300 kph and repeat for 24 hours. The winning car will do well over 300 laps.
Well, time for the final thoughts. Gentlemen, Tom and Alex, you've been in the shoes, starting Le Mans 18 times. Tom, tell us what's going on through their mind.
Enormous focus, the systems, getting the temperatures in, especially on the tires, is going to be crucial. And I have seen already some people are starting on the soft compound of the tires to make sure that they can get through the first part of the track after the start. A lot of adrenaline is going there.
Alex, what are the last thing the drivers are thinking right now?
Starting this race is a tremendous sense of responsibility, whether you're in one of these huge works teams or whether you're in a much smaller privateer team. You know you have to keep the car out of trouble and in good shape for the next driver through. It's all about keeping it out of trouble and setting you up then to have a decent race for 24 hours. So much focus, as Tom said, going on behind those visors when we go green at 4 o'clock.
Well, it's time to go now. 24 hours of action. We'll bring you the best of it with Guénel Longy and Jethro Bovingdon. Laura Winter will be taking you behind the scenes. Sit back, grab some coffee, and enjoy the show for the 92nd edition.
Hi Nick, we haven't really caught up with you since your return to World Endurance Championship, so tell us a bit about the decision to return to Toyota and to come back to this championship.
I think it didn't take much for me to decide to come back. Actually, even during my time, my short time in Formula One, we remained in touch, and I think Toyota has been very supportive when the opportunity came, and we left on very good terms. We had a great relationship, so when things weren't looking so good, we were always in touch, and when it ended, I was very sure that I wanted to return to both WEC and Toyota together.
So tell us about your integration in the driver lineup. How's that going as a team? It must be quite nice to be back amongst a tight-knit team.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I've been fortunate to have the opportunity to kind of integrate or start the integration progress already, because since 2020 I was a test reserve driver for Toyota, so I know the team and the drivers. Obviously, when you go racing, it's always a little bit different because you experience different, I would say, different dynamics, different pressures. But it's been great, and so far I'm very much enjoying.
Tell me how it feels, only a short time away really from the very front, but what's it like to be fighting for poles again and fighting for wins like you did in Imola at the last round?
Yeah, it's great, and ultimately as a racing driver all you want is to be the best at what you do, and to have the opportunity to compete for real results, and we all live for winning. Yeah, I was just thinking, this is just cool, this is just great, being able to fight and to chase and to race for something.
What's the mental and physical preparation for Le Mans? It's the biggest 24-hour race of the year. What are you doing differently in the lead up than you would to a normal wet round, for example?
It's also a much longer week, so I'd say we are probably there for 10 days in total. So I just try to bank in a little bit more sleep and recovery prior to leaving to an event. Whereas usually, really the event starts on Friday in terms of driving. So you just got to look after your energies and make sure you're well recovered and healthy going into it, because by the end it will be, actually when the race starts, you've almost already completed a marathon. And that's actually what people forget, because warm-up is quite early. The whole week you sleep late because of practice, and it's just a draining week, and managing your energy levels is important, I think.
The iconic 24 hours is about to start now, but this isn't the only motorsport treat we're bringing you on this weekend, starting with round 5 of Speedway Grand Prix from Malila, Sweden tonight, 6:30 CET on Max and Discovery Plus. In World Superbikes, it's time for round 4 in Misano now on Max and Discovery Plus. And of course, you know that after Le Mans, we'll have an amazing summer of sport in France with the Olympic Games in Paris. But before that, the Tour de France starts in 2 weeks in Florence. Almost 4 p.m., of course, 62 cars will battle for glory now in 3 different categories. This is Le Mans. Hundreds and thousands of fans are here, millions watching at home. Enjoy the show.